He came in before the sun was up, always did, sweeping the weight room floor like it was muscle memory, hood pulled low, eyes cast down, blending right into the shadows of the morning. Nobody really paid him any mind. Not until that one day, a young SEAL candidate Dawson stooped to tie his shoe and just stopped. Right there, peeking from behind the edge of that faded collar, was a tattooed old one, nearly worn away by years of sun and sweat. I'm talking the kind of mark only a certain breed of men ever earned, and only after surviving something nobody talks about in daylight. You ever feel a room shift before anyone says a word? Yeah, that happened. On the roster, the man was just maintenance civilian contractor. Same uniform, everyday gray coveralls, a dark blue hoodie, boots caked with a reddish dust that never seemed to wash out. He showed up like clockwork at 0430, before instructors, before recruits. It's like he materialized out of thin air. No one ever saw him actually arrive. He'd be there emptying trash, wiping sweat off mats he'd never use, scrubbing mirrors nobody thanked him for. Didn't speak unless you made him. Even then, just morning, copy, all yours. The gym wasn't just a gym, it was almost a chapel, you know what I mean? Iron meant pain. Pain was currency, and every dude in there was trying to buy a shot at becoming more than human. And every day, before the noise and the yelling and the sound of weights slamming around, there he was mopping, sweeping, refilling, then slipping away like a ghost. Most of the young guys never even glanced at him, too busy trying to survive till noon. But a few of the older instructors, the ones with too many scars and too little patience, noticed some odd things. He folded towels tight and perfect, stacked weights by balance, not size, watched the new guys in the mirrors without ever really looking like he was scanning, measuring, just waiting for something. He never wore headphones, never checked a phone. And yeah, he moved like age had caught up to him, but not all the way. No creaking knees, no shaky hands. When he shifted a loaded bar from one rack to another, his grip was steady as bedrock. Some recruits joked he was probably just a burnout or some wannabe who washed out years ago. But old Mason instructor who'd been a team leader before he retired from the real stuff shoot them a look that shut those jokes down fast. Mason was nobody's fool, never joined in the trash talk, but even he didn't meet the janitor's eye. Nobody else lasted long in those civilian jobs. The hours were rough, security was tight, most folks couldn't handle it but him. He never complained, never took a day off, never got in anyone's way. Only thing you could pin on him was that hood always up, even indoors, even in the sticky heat of July. But then, one muggy morning after a brutal circuit, Dawson just happened to catch the janitor wiping down the floor near his bench. Hood slipped back a little, exposing a patch of tanned, scarred skin and that tattoo. It wasn't biker ink, wasn't tribal military, very specific, a trine through a skull. The kind only SEALs who did the kind of work nobody ever put on paper would ever have. Dawson didn't say a word, watched as the janitor adjusted his hood and rolled away, silent, mop bucket trailing like nothing happened. But Dawson couldn't let it go. That image stuck in his mind, neither even search forums he wasn't supposed to know about, trying to find matches for the tattoo. Not exact, but close enough to make his heart race. Trident, skull, black missions. The kind of thing only the legends would ever wear. The next morning, Dawson kept an eye on the janitor, just observing. He wasn't the only one. The vibe around the gym changed. Instructors hesitated around the old man. Officers gave him space, and Mason watched with this odd kind of respect, like he was measuring the distance between what he'd done and what the janitor had seen. Eventually, a big recruit from Texas, Grant, made the mistake of yelling across the gym, "Hey, old man, you ever do more than clean up after us?" The room went dead quiet. The janitor didn't even blink, just kept mopping the blood off the mat where two guys had gone a little too hard. Mason walked over, leaned in, and whispered to Grant, "If you want to finish this program, shut up and show some damn respect." That was the last anyone joked about the janitor. After that, word traveled quietly, but it spread. Some guys called him the ghost. Others started calling him sir, even if they didn't know why. He never reacted, but his presence changed the energy in the gym. Suddenly, everyone was more alert. He moved like he was mapping the room, eyes tracking exits, posture, everything. There was even talk he knew who'd wash out before the instructors did. Then came the fire alarm middle of a workout, sudden and sharp, a false alarm from a glitchy panel. Everyone filed out, instructors hurting recruits, but Simmons, a trainee, went down hard, knee locked from dehydration. Two guys ran in, but stopped at the entrance, choking on smoke, not sure what to do. The janitor? He just walked straight in gear, just a towel over his mouth, picked Simmons up in a textbook fireman's carry, walked him out, set him gently on the mat, and disappeared again without a word. When a fire chief showed up, everything was already handled. No one talked about it. No report mentioned him, but everyone saw. Later, Dawson noticed a patch inside the janitor's cart, black on black, almost invisible. ST6 SEAL Team 6. No first name, no rank. Suddenly, everything made sense. The next day, the whole place was different. Not because anyone said anything, but because now, everyone knew, or thought they knew. People stepped out of his way not out of fear, but respect, the kind you earn long before anyone sees it. One morning, Mason walked over to the supply closet where the janitor took his breaks. He found the man sitting on a bucket, sipping black coffee from an old thermos. Mason didn't sit. "I was in Kandahar, 07208. You were there, weren't you?" Silence. Mason nodded like that was all the answer he needed. "There's a story of black site outside Helmand, rescue op, no intel, no support. 2 men went in, only 1 came out. They say the survivor carried the other out under fire, stitched his own leg with a knife, then vanished before debrief. Was that you?" The janitor looked at him, dead calm. "You shouldn't ask questions you don't want answered." Mason just nodded. "That's what I thought. You're teaching these kids something you can't put on a whiteboard." From then on, things changed, even if nobody spoke about it. One morning, instructors found his locker door cracked open inside, a folded flag, a single pair of boots, and a battered Navy coin on top of a name patch. Hayes. Just Hayes, no rank, nothing more. That afternoon, Dawson finally worked up the nerve to ask, "Sir, if you were really one of them, why are you here?" Hayes didn't stop coiling a battle rope, just answered, "Because this is where they need me." Dawson tried again, "Why not tell anyone?" Hayes looked him straight in the eye. "The day you need to tell people who you are is the day you've already forgotten." He walked away, and Dawson never asked again, but every night after that, he stared a little longer at the trident patch in his locker. From then on, nobody called him janitor, not out loud, anyway. Still listed that way on a roster, still signed every form as Hayes, but around the compound, among those who'd caught a glimpse of that tattoo or the calm in his silence, he was something else. A ghost with purpose, floating through the gym, always watching, never interfering, but the air changed when he was around. Recruits stopped complaining, trained harder. No one told them Tot Hay, just did. Because in the presence of a man with nothing to prove, every excuse felt cheap. One night, Dawson pulled a new recruit aside, said, "If you ever see him watching, don't try to impress him, just don't screw up." The kid didn't get it yet. He would. Mason never brought it up again, didn't need to. Left a note in Hayes' cart one day, and signed, "You're still serving." Hayes never mentioned it, but the next morning the ropes were coiled tighter, racks already wiped down. Senior staff never said a word. No background check found a service record. No Navy file matched the face, but the ones who knew they knew. One afternoon, a commander from Coronado stopped by, recognized Hayes instantly. He just whispered to Mason, "You have no idea who that is, do you?" Mason replied, "No, but I know exactly what he is." That was all. The gym kept running, the world kept turning, but sometimes, just as the sun was coming up, Hayes would stop in front of the mirror, lower his hood, look at himself, tattoo faded, eyes tired, and then get back to work. He never told his story, never bragged, never asked for thanks. He just kept showing up, quiet and unseen, making sure the next generation understood what it really meant to serve. Sometimes the men who've seen the worst don't tell you what they did, they show you how to carry it. You ever cross paths with someone like that? Someone the world overlooked until a detail, a glance, a gesture told you they were carrying more than you could imagine? Tell me who they are, what they taught you, because here's the truth. Legends don't need podiums, and the real heroes don't wear capes. They just keep serving, even when nobody's watching. If this story hit you, share it, subscribe, and next time you see someone sweeping a floor, look a little closer.